Hello, my name is Jesus Yepis, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about global climate change, specifically the effects it will or is already having to our world's agriculture industry. Firstly, let's look at a quick overview on the point I will be discussing throughout this presentation. We will define global warming as well as identify the long-term consequences it will have to our planet, understand the industry that is agriculture and the global impacts it has. Lastly, see how the effects of global warming is having to the agriculture business and what are the vulnerabilities this industry is facing, which consequently affects the general public as well. Understanding global climate change refers to the planet's rise in temperature on its surface, which has been annually increasing for decades now, resulting in increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. With a rise in temperature, this ultimately leads to a domino effect of changes to this planet, such as the melting of the polar ice caps, rising sea levels, endangering wildlife that may result in extinction, and also drought depending on the regions. For example, with the warming of the Earth's surface, the polar ice caps will continue to melt, which will result in a rise in sea levels. Not only will this chain reaction affect cities that are near the coast, but also affect food productivity. With the continual rise in sea levels, several freshwater aquifers are being contaminated, leading to an inadequate amount of water supplies useful for not only human consumption, but as well in the use of watering crops. Now, the agriculture business is not just a massive industry on a global scale, but also accounts for providing food on the homes of billions of people all around the world. Just in the United States alone, the agriculture industry contributed $789 billion in domestic gross in 2013, and the output of this from American farms was $166.9 billion. From this, it is crucial that we are able to sustain viable producing crops each year. The amount of change in temperature would decrease quantity and quality of our food supply. If the changing climate is rapidly evolving each year, it would not allow for agriculture to adapt with the ever-changing environment. Studies have demonstrated that the acclimatization of agriculture as an adjustment to the risk associated with changes in averages and, more recently, with recurring extreme events would not be able to keep up. The result of these changes would cause a loss of plant life, thus creating a rise in the cost of damages on a massive scale. In order for our planet to sustain life, it requires a few key elements, one of those being water. Without water, there is really no possible way for our planet to continue to not only sustain life, but also repeatedly grow and evolve. So what happens when we are without a viable source of water? Agriculture alone consumes 87% of the fresh water withdrawn in the world. Water shortages can be expected to severely reduce biodiversity in both aquatic and terrestrial ecosystems. Without water, crop production would rapidly decline all around the world, with thousands of acres being lost. From this decline, it would not only make food scarce, but the value of products would skyrocket, which in order for businesses to make up for their loss, they would have to reevaluate their pricing methods. Crop losses would create an increase of the price of food all around the world. The greater the loss, the higher the product value in order to regain any losses. Today, there are available options to better equip agricultural businesses, such as tougher genetically enhanced crops, special fertilization methods, and greenhouses. With controlled environments, farmers would be able to continue growing crops, but of course, this form of growing comes at a cost. Now, what would happen when a farmer from a third world country is unable to accommodate the changing environment and fails to keep a sustainable means of not only income but a food source? Farming is a tremendous part of their lives, but it is in most cases their only source of income and food, which depicts the value of agriculture to these rich regions of the world. Without maintainable crops to work and feed their families or water to sustain them, they will be unable to live a healthy lifestyle. Parts of the developing world will experience large increases in relative water demand. Droughts are a clear effect of what the global climate change is inflicting and negatively changing the way we attempt to keep life going. The ultimate purpose in helping reduce this issue is primarily because agriculture is one of the most important businesses in the world, as it not only provides employment to millions of people, but a source of food for those people. In realizing that these concerns are not a thing of the near future, but transpiring now, one must begin to spark a change in the way we treat our planet's resources. Agriculture is a business that translates on so many different regions of the world, and some places are struggling to keep sustainable crop production and reduce any more losses. From water shortages to a sharp decline in production, these crops will ultimately help the earth keep nourishing life as it has been in doing for millions of years. In analyzing the global climate change and the effects it is already having and will continue to have on agriculture, one can come to the conclusion that agriculture is something worth saving. If individuals strive to save the production of agriculture throughout the world, life will continue to flourish. With a focus on saving the agriculture business through combating global warming, this will create positive effects to mankind. Creating a healthier environment would lead to healthy plant life, which will allow its business to thrive, resulting in continuing to generate a food source for humankind, a steady income of revenue for businesses, as well as keeping individuals employed. With that being said, a change to global warming would benefit our world in keeping our planet not only healthier, but continue to fight issues like world hunger with having a sustainable cultivation. Thank you for watching.